Um, how did it go? Anybody would like to share? This course is a lot about practicing and open sharing. Oh, before we share, actually, let me talk a little bit about me. I tend not to do that. Um, so I started meditating when I was 16 years old. Now I'm 45, though I don't look 45. So it's been a long journey for me with a lot of ups and downs. But I started meditating in the yoga tradition with a classical guru from India. You know, and that was my beginnings in the practice. Then, throughout the years, I've meditated and studied with different teachers, Americans, Latin Americans, the very famous ones like Eckhart Tolle, Adyashanti, lately with Jonathan Faust, different traditions, different schools. So my approach to meditation is very open. It's not stuck in one tradition. I think all traditions can benefit our own relationship with ourselves, which I think meditation is. Meditation is cultivating a relationship with yourself, a loving relationship. And I noticed that there were many meditation courses, but they tend to happen like in a weekend. You go and take the course, and then that's it, and then you're left on your own with whatever's there. Uh, and I thought that that doesn't really work. That what you need is guidance through a period of time of committed practice, so that you, given some tools, you go back home, you practice them, and then you can come back with all your questions and challenges. And then here we can work it together, meaning I don't have all the answers, but I have my experience of what I've learned from my teachers. I'm going to share that with you. I always say I don't come here with the truth. I come here with my experience, and that might serve you or might not. So take what works for you, and also challenge everything. You know, we don't. This is not about believing. It's about, for me, the beauty of yoga and meditation path is not about believing anything. It's tools for self-inquiry and learning to discover the different layers of your being. And also, as the yoga masters say, and to find the deepest layer, because that layer is pure peace and bliss. We all have that layer, even though we think we don't have it. So meditation is that art of discovering the different layers, honoring your different layers, from the physical to the very subtle aspects of the mind. Because what I notice in our culture, we're so outer oriented that we lose touch with ourselves. And then often we don't know what we want or why we're doing what we're doing. Or why do I feel so unfulfilled in this relationship? Or why do I cannot get along with my boss? Why? Often because you're not in touch with what you're feeling and with your intuitive self. You're just like too much in the mind, thinking, 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 but not really tapping deeper. So this course is going to invite you to go through all those layers, and it's actually, it starts with this module, but it takes many modules because this is an invitation to embrace this practice as something that if you start today, maybe you'll keep it for the rest of your life as a way of supporting yourself in living more fully. Okay, good, that makes sense. Any question about anything that I said? Good, okay. So let's start. How did it go with whatever you experienced? How was it for you? It can be bad, it can be good, anything is welcome.
Hello, first.
And please share your name so that.
My name is Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
Okay, so initially when I did it and I put my hand on my abdomen, I felt a little heat, but as the breathing and the time went on, I felt it a lot hotter.
Oh, interesting.
My chest was a little tight throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
But then with the deep breathing in and out, it felt less tight.
Like it's softened a bit.
Yeah, it's soft. And I, after about a minute, I was able to hear the sounds outside and in here clear. So like I heard the wheels in the car spinning in the water, swishing on the wheels.
Wow.
So
Did that caught your attention? Like, oh, am I hearing so much?
yeah, I just like heard that. And then, which is something that I normally don't experience, this whole part of my face was very loose. Like I didn't have a lot of tightness. And then I felt like salivating. Yeah.
You're very observant. I like that. Do you meditate?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're very observant already.
Thank you.
Oh. Good. Was it a good experience? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I felt very peaceful.
Okay, good. Why do you think you felt peaceful? Were you feeling peaceful before the exercise?
I was.
Okay. Did you feel more peaceful or less?
No, I was really peaceful.
You were more peaceful before the exercise?
No, after.
After. What did you think it allowed you to be more at ease?
The release and the breathing and being in tune with just feeling.
Wonderful. Why do you think you were able to release?
I was able to release because I've been practicing that for a while already. I've taught myself and I learn every day how to not take things so personally and how to transition through certain things that happen in my life. I'm not perfect by any means, I'm still learning. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I just didn't see that are that.
Okay. So I hear from what you're saying that I've learned to let go. Like a certain mental thinking, I've learned to let go so that I can feel and release. Am I interpreting you right?
Pretty much.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Tim.
It was looking at me.
I don't know, maybe because you have a steady gaze. You would rather not. You don't have to.
I'm a physical therapist, so I'm very physical too.
Oh, great.
And I actually was calmer than usual when I arrived because I got it early. The traffic was, so I was already somewhat calmer than normal. But what I have is a lot of tension in my jaw. But I also know that it's coming from my neck. I know I've been dealing with this, so I was very aware of it. And I'm pretty good at practice breathing a lot in the last few years. I've done also a lot of work with chanting, some other different stuff, so Miami style.
You mean like chanting mantras or chanting?
Oh, yes. I've done like 7 yoga retreats in 6 countries. I don't do anything in the US. I like most of the time. So it's very different yoga principles, more of the real principles of yoga and the whole philosophy. So anyway, and then I have this weird thing going on in my joint. So my finger is throbbing. I feel right. This is like word tonight. It's throbbing interestingly. So I just felt all this tension. I still feel it, but I feel that it's a real physical thing. I don't feel that it's an emotion. But emotionally, I felt very calm and very quiet. And what I noticed is, even with the breathing, which for me is just about being still and being very present and I do very well with guided things, I still could feel the rest of my body relax. The tension was less in terms of just the normal structural relax, but I still feel this tension, like I couldn't get it to release even when I was focusing on it or breathing in. I still feel like it's because I know the reason for it.
So if we stop a little bit there, what I found very helpful in my practice is not, I don't do the feeling, the sensing into my body. I don't do it with an agenda, like wanting it to relax. You see, in any moment I told you, oh, relax. I might use the word soften. But what I've noticed is that my main intention when I sit down is to be with whatever is there, not wanting it to change. Because the moment we're expecting a change, it's like we're trying to force something that we can't force. It happens in its own time. The more embracing we are of whatever we're experiencing, then tension dissipates. Because actually tension is very much, you might notice tension is very much connected to desire and fear. Right? When you desire something, then notice your body tensing. And when you're afraid of something, tensing. When you're angry, anger is very much connected. So often my only agenda is to experience, and sometimes it's to experience pain. Can I be with it? And when that is my intention, then what I notice is that my body responds really much better because it's almost like I allow myself to be tense. And by allowing me, I give a space for it to dissipate in its own time. So you might want to contemplate if that would help you. Yeah. So what you feel, but not wanting to change anything, almost being curious about that tension in your jaw. Like, oh, where does it start? How does it feel? Where does it go? Does it have a color? You know, some of us are others are more kinesthetic, or others are more visual. Does it have a root? So you just go feeling it and allowing it, like really with curiosity. That works really well. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say?
I kind of already been having this, so it's not like just today, but then when you went into the body, I became more aware. So it wasn't really that I knew it was there before, but it's there. And I guess I kind of do that intuitively about exploring it. I mean, that's just kind of what I do.
Yeah, this is very intuitive.
But I learned one thing in all the breath work, and I never understood how I became physical therapist and really got. I never realized how very physically connected I am to myself, and even the way I practice, over the years it's really shifted. So a lot of the way I'm successful is with that intuitive.
Yeah, no, this is intuitive.
But I really can't explain it. I just that's some work that's just intuitive, even just listen to what people are saying.
Yeah. And it's intuitive, and also this practice is very subtle because a little thought in your head, a very little belief that you have, can become a contraction in your body, you know. And it takes sometimes 20 years of meditation to finally recognize it and let go of it. And then suddenly your digestion starts working. You know, like maybe in the back of your head all your life you feel less than others. And you really believed in that, but you haven't really recognized it. And finally, someday in meditation, you're able to really tap into that feeling and recognize it and let go of it. And then that day, your digestion starts working. So it's as subtle as that. And so that's what I'm saying. There's going to be many layers here that we're going to be allowing it to show up. Because what happens is that we are, again, so much looking outside, never looking inside, that it's like we've lost awareness of our inner landscape. And then we cannot intervene because we're not aware. To be aware is what allows you to heal. But when you're not aware of your wounds, how can you heal them? You know? And being aware of them is being able to fully experience what is there. And often it takes years of practice. So we're beginning into that. Anybody else would like to say one more? Yes, Jen?
So I had an injury early on in my knee, and I felt a lot of like physical level of energy. But I appreciate myself for allowing me to block the pain and block the experience. But today I just allow myself to feel it and kind of be okay with it. I'm very frustrated.
And what happened as you did that?
I felt weak, like my upper body was
So there was a sort of contraction that releases as you allow that to be.
Even just my stance,
Mhm.
this is the whole. And then my whole lower extremities went to like deep numbness.
Was that good?
It was uncomfortable.
You mean numbness like going to sleep?
Yeah, they're like super, but I was very conscious.
You can always shift your posture.
I wanted to have you.
Yeah, but if it's going numb, it is totally okay. Like if I'm sitting like this, typically this leg goes numb, I'm just going to do this, you know. But that's not there. You know, we don't need to inflict suffering in our bodies. Like if your body needs to shift, it's okay. We don't, no. Good. Anybody had a? Yeah, you can move. Anybody? What? At the end of the meditation? No, no, it's fine to move in between. Okay.
The hardest thing is in the middle. The hardest thing is to think about.
Wait a moment. So let me ask you this question. Did I ever told you think about nothing?
Well, not like that, but I'm saying in my profession, I came here because of my wife, and I just happen to know families, and we're both in the same line of business profession. Like I spend the whole day thinking.
Yeah.
And to come here and kind of like not think or think about what you say is hard.
Yeah. So.
Because you want to think about all the other things you think about.
So let me show this story, the classical meditation story. It was the master and the disciple, and the only instruction the master told the disciple was, when you sit to meditate, you can do whatever you want. The only thing, please, you should not do is think about a monkey. Okay? What happened when he said to meditate? All the monkeys came out. So never try to control your mind. That's the worst thing you can do in meditation. You know why? Because the mind is so much greater than you. She will do this, and you know, the mind is so powerful. Don't try to control the mind. Don't try to make the mind not think. That's the worst thing you can do. What we're doing here is learning how to calm the mind. And we do that by directing the mind to notice things. You give work to the mind, but a different work than the one you normally give to it. At the end, your mind will learn to let go of working. But at the beginning of the practice, you need to give your mind something to do. So what we're giving today to the mind is we're giving the work of feeling. And the mind will wander, you know, will go and think, well, and there will be always the moment when you come back, right? And you start listening to me again. Okay, cool, I'm back. Let me notice it. So don't worry, the mind will wander, will go into thought. That's part of the process. Okay, it's like the mind is a creative power. It is meant to create. Her power is a creator. It creates thoughts about everything. That's her nature. And it's good that it does that, you know? So don't go against what the mind is made for. It's just made to think. Now, what you can do is allow the mind to calm down, because we don't realize it, but the mind has many states. It has a very agitated mind. There are the moments where our mind is more smooth. So what we're cultivating is a more smooth mind. And it can be so smooth someday that yes, maybe there will be very little thought. That doesn't mean, even in deep meditation, there are thoughts, subtle thoughts here and there, okay? So never try to make the mind not think. It's impossible. What you do is you go calming the mind. Good. Thank you for bringing that. Anybody had a bad experience? Like this was uncomfortable, this was, no? Yeah, good. I like that. I mean, please be honest. Like, I'm not expecting you guys to know how to meditate. We're here to learn. So.
But I don't think it was about the meditation itself. I think I came to that.
Okay.
And then when I started to meditate, I had difficulty to breathe.
Okay.
And I could feel that I was very
Okay. When you say upset, what
I
do
don't know, I was
like a tension?
yeah, tension, I was
Okay.
glad at the same time, I was starving, I was like, oh, I didn't eat anything before cooking, and then it was going to disturb me, because I'm hungry,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So it was a mix of being upset and hungry. And I think the sitting position was not comfortable for me either.
Okay.
I didn't dare to move.
Okay.
So, but at the same time,
Uh-huh.
that's why I was trying to, the breath was really, I could not breathe, and I still cannot breathe
Uh-huh.
easily,
Yeah.
I feel that. But normally I never feel that. I usually breathe, sleep out, and very relaxed, but that time I could not. And but at one moment I feel very relaxed on my face.
Okay.
I feel relaxed, but here I was upset.
Yeah, yeah. And at the end of the meditation, how are you feeling?
I
Like
disconnect.
the when you started thinking.
I disconnect. I was on my breath. I cannot breathe, and I'm not
Okay.
well
Good,
seated.
good, good, good.
I could not there. I disconnect.
Okay, good. So what I said to one of you about the agenda, like, yeah, like she was speaking about the tension in her job and, subtly feeling and saying, "Oh, it didn't really go away." So the same with the breath. Don't try to change what your breath is. Some days you're going to sit in meditation and your breath is going to be very shallow and maybe fast. Allow yourself to experience that. Don't,
I was starting to panic.
yeah.
But I was like,
So here's what happens, and let me explain fear and panic. It's a loop, and the loop is this is not good. You feel something, and your mind goes, "This is not good. My breath is not good. I want to change it, but I can't change it." Right? So you get more panic because I can't change it. So it gets more rapid. So that's the panic loop. The panic loop is saying this is wrong. Whatever my body is doing is wrong. Whatever I'm feeling is not good. When you negate what is, you're putting more tension into already tension. See that? So the golden word in meditation, and you can write it like a huge word in front of wherever you meditate, is the word allow. Allow. Allow whatever you're experiencing to be as it is. When you allow your body, he knows how to regulate. When you allow your breath to be whatever it is, and you feel it, you soften into what is, then your body magically finds its harmony. But you just don't try to make a change. Let it be. That's why that famous song of the Beatles, let it be, let it be, let it be, but we still don't get it. And it's let it be whatever you are experiencing. The moment where there is no resistance to what you're experiencing, that energy can dissipate. The moment you're like, oh no, I'm doing it all wrong. More tension, more tension. You see? That makes sense? Good. Great, great, great. Thank you for honest sharing. Like really, let's be really honest, right? And there might be questions that someday I say, oh, I don't have the answer for that. I don't, so but maybe some of you might have, we all have wisdom here. Now, what I do want to share here is that this is not group therapy. Meaning, when somebody shares, they're sharing to, as we share, we are articulating our process. That doesn't mean that we want the group to give us advice, because, each person has their own process. And so let's be very careful in terms of giving advice. In any case, I would much rather, unless the person say, hey, please help me with this, then okay, maybe they will give advice. But most likely when somebody shares, it's just to listen and maybe ask questions of verification if you ever want. Oh, like I didn't understand what you're sharing. Yeah? Because it's not group therapy, because we're honoring each other's process. We don't have the answer for the other. Okay? Good. time is it? 26. Mhm. Breath is, you notice, did it help you as you were meditating? Okay. Actually, now I remember where I wanted to go. So, what we did now was feeling, right? Whatever is there. I also used the word allow, whatever you're experiencing. And I also use the word soften. So feel whatever is there, allow it to be, and see if it can soften. You know, just like, can you soften? And when you say soften, is stop trying to make something happen and be with whatever is there to be experienced. And this is, if you learn this that I'm saying, you actually learn everything you need for meditation. You experience whatever you're experiencing, you allow it to be, and you soften. And that the softening and the allowing is one same thing, right? When you soften, you allow. The other root, the other thing that we normally do is we feel, we don't like what we feel, we contract, and we want to change it. Yeah, and that's the root of tension, is being against what you're experiencing. The root of relaxation is allowing your tensions to be. So a lot of meditation will be actually experiencing your tensions. Yay, that's so cool. But when you do that, actually, when you allow yourself to experience your body, the tensions, and the areas that are not tense, but you allow everything to be, uh, then the body starts in its own intelligence finding a balance. See? So, for example, in your case, you're feeling tension in the jaw, and you feel it. And you feel it, everything that has been felt, right? And then you continue. You don't stay there like feeling, so it will go away. You see? You notice it, you feel it, you explore it, but then you move on. And then you feel the wholeness of your being, everything. In that way, again, you're allowing and letting the totality find its balance. So you feel one area, but then at the end, you notice that I allow yourself to be with the whole of your experience. And in that place, you allow for the body to find its balance. Nice mantras there.
I actually, that helped me when my students like training, do a training,
Yeah.
like allow me to step away from the focus area, whatever that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The experience became bigger than this room.
Yes.
I expanded my
Yeah. Yes. And that's, you know, we often think of being with ourselves as just being with the physical sensation body. But the noises, the sounds, the smell, they're part of our experience of being. So sometimes you're meditating, I don't know, and there will be a car with an alarm turning on, you know. Wee, 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 wee. And you're like, oh, I can't meditate with that. No. Welcome it. Feel it. Listen. And allow it to be. This is the same philosophy. Notice it. That's a allow it to be. The problem is when you start resisting to what is. And you will notice that a lot as you're meditating, you will start resisting. When is he going to take us out of here? If that ever happens, feel the resistance. You see, same thing applies. Feel your own emotional resistance to experiencing whatever is there. That makes sense? How's that? So the breath is a wonderful companion for meditation and for the body. Because what does the breath do? It flows. And in that flow, there's a receiving and letting go. Receiving and letting go. That's what the breath is doing all the time. And when you connect with the breath, it's like he is teaching you how to meditate. Because the breath allows everything to be there as it is. Oh, you're afraid? Well, the breath will move whatever way it moves. The breath will always find a way to be. Okay? So when you're with the breath, it will teach you how to be. It's just like being with the breath. It's not about changing the breath. It's not about fixing the breath. It's feeling the breath. And yes, we recommend a lot, if you can, to try to breathe in deep and breathe out long. That is not a specific, it doesn't have to be in any way, it's just an opening for a deeper breath, an opening for a longer exhalation. And maybe in your case, that's very tight. Maybe you'll feel it just here. Let it be, okay? But right now, we're gonna explore the different areas of the breath to see if we can awaken them, okay? So just start putting your hand here. Actually, let's stand up because we can do this standing. So we give a break to the leg. How are we doing? Good? Any questions? As far as we go now? No, okay? Okay. Hands on the belly. Once again. Can you feel, as you breathe in and out, any movement in your abdomen? Or does it feel like your abdomen is frozen and it doesn't move? If you don't feel any movement, let me know. So I gather that all of you feel the movement, right? Yeah. Have you ever thought, why does your belly move if your lungs are up here? Like the air is not going into your stomach, diaphragm. Everybody knows what the diaphragm is. We really hear about it, but we don't really know it. It's a muscle, first of all. And it's a muscle that looks like an umbrella. You know? Imagine an umbrella, and imagine that on top of the umbrella, there's the lungs, both bags and the lungs, right? Under the umbrella, there's your digestive system, the stomach, and all the digestive organs. Yep. So when you inhale, this muscle tightens, and the umbrella becomes flat. Instead of like concave, it flattens. And it pushes all the abdominal muscles down, right? But what's underneath the abdominal muscles is the hips, right? Big bones. So they cannot move down, so they move forward. You see? So your diaphragm is the main muscle of breathing. If you see a baby, his belly moves really freely because his diaphragm is very free from emotional tension. Because what frozen your diaphragm often is some form of fear. You know? Then you start being very shallow with you. And then we're gonna panic. It's like, hold the gear. It's like everything gets more tighter. That's what fear does, frozen. So if you feel any tension while you do it in your belly, then allow yourself to feel the tension. Any whatsoever subtle tension. Because there's subtle layers of worry that can get there. Just let them be, feel them. See, a lot of what's going to happen is that as we get in touch with our body, we get in touch with our emotions. See, because emotions are really behind most of the body's tensions. Okay? Don't try to change anything. Feel whatever is there. Okay? Just feel it and let it be. And sometimes you'll feel the fear. Sometimes you know what the thought that is connected to that fear. Sometimes you can see it. Notice that how our emotions are connected with a train of thought. Start thinking about something and your chest gets contracted. Okay, now you can open your eyes. Let's bring our hand here. The rib cage under our pectoral muscles. So now, see if you can breathe all the way down into your belly, but then keep breathing in. And you will notice something happening in your rib cage, very subtle, sometimes very tangible. Do you notice any movement? And the ribs are very interesting. They pop forward, out, and separate. And that's called the intercostal muscles. If you ever go into Tony Ramos and had some ribs, that would do it for the intercostal muscles in the cow. That when they activate, it separates the ribs. Sorry. Sorry for the reference. But that's the expansion. Those muscles activate and they separate your ribs so that the air can come in. Okay. Finally, go up here and I can show the collarbones. This bone. Yeah. See if you can feel first the breath starting in the belly, then expanding all the way up into the ribs, and then coming all the way up into the rib cage. So there are three main groups of muscles that allow you to breathe. First is the belly, then the intercostal muscles. And if you go all the way up, as much air can come in, you will notice the collarbone lifting up. Notice that? They also expand sideways. Now, many of you don't notice it. Did everybody feel that? No. So you have to go really deep. So you got to expand, expand, expand. And again, if some area of your body doesn't move or is hard for you to feel, great, go there and feel. Because that's how you awaken your body. Good? Final. I'm going to put a hand here in the back. So this is the back ribs, right? You can put them like this. Okay? Look at your belly, like your navel. Okay? And now take a deep breath in. And let it go out. One more time. Look into your navel. Take a deep breath. And let it out. Can you feel the expansion in the back body? Some people can, some people don't. Somebody doesn't experience it, or all of you experience the expansion in the back. Okay, now keep your hands back there and look forward. Now instead of looking at your belly, look forward. But see if you can keep that expansion in the back. Can you feel it? In yoga, we call it breathing in the kidneys. And it's great because it brings your awareness back. And when it does that, it expands your awareness. When you bring your awareness into the back of the body. Yeah, we all feel that. You can let go of the hands. Put your feet a distance apart. And see if you can just feel the breath coming into the belly, the ribs, all the way up into the chest. See if you can feel it in the front of the body and in the back of the body. Notice as the breath flows in and out of your nostrils. Notice if there's any area of your body that contracts as you do this, like, maybe a hand or maybe your mouth. Notice if you're contracting an area. Don't need to change, just notice. can you make the air flow seamlessly, like a silk, seamless? Can you make the air flow soft and flow? Relax your hands. There's no hold. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Just feel the breath. And enjoy the breathing. Just enjoy the pleasure of good. Now you can open your eyes. How was that? Good? Felt good? How's your mind? It's just that you're tired. So what happens when we start doing things of meditation? If you're tired, you're going to get really sleepy. That's okay.
And breathing is getting
Yeah.
I don't know if you're relaxed or tired or like, you know.
So let tiredness be. Let yourself be tired. You may experience tiredness. Okay? Like, if I ask you, this is great for when you say tired, where do you feel tired? Like in your body. What is that you call tired? We tap into it. What would you say? It's something in your chest, something in your belly. You say, I'm tired. What is it?
Be more like around here in the back.
Like an energy.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that in me. Sometimes like my head can get warm. Sometimes when I'm really tired, my belly gets achy. When you allow that to be, the energy can start flowing. Because also we don't know the tiredness can also be a subtle resistance. I've been doing yoga and meditation for years, so bear with me. Sometimes it's not very obvious. Also, often when we're tired, we're slowly emotionally resisting to something in our head.
But actually, I don't feel tiredness right now. I feel like I'm about to sleep, like super relaxed.
Good. Okay.
I'm
That's
not
different.
tired in a way like
Okay.
I'm tired, like more like I'm about to sleep. I don't know what I'm saying, you know, like how you say when you,
Good.
you know.
So that you're doing a good job. That's called relaxation. Now the trick is, how can we remain aware while we're relaxed? Okay? And that's what we're going to be cultivating through this 7-week course. Okay? So how can we sustain presence in the midst of a deep, young, softness? Through this hard. Okay? Yeah.
Do we have time for questions?
Quick.
Difference between standing, meditating standing versus sitting in the lotus position? Are there?
It's a whole difference, but I'm not going to go there right now. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. We're going to move the body a bit. Take a deep breath out. And a long breath out. I'm going to stand a little bit more back so that the camera can grab it a little bit. Take a deep breath out. And a long breath out. Bend your knees. Feet point forward. Okay. Let your head fall forward. Just let it fall forward. Let your arms round your upper back forward. So feel your upper back round. Tailbone in. Then start going a little bit down with the rounded back and feel your upper back really round. Your arms and head are down. And go a little bit more down and feel your lower back, middle back round. You may feel some tension there. And then keep going down and you might feel your hips hinging forward until you go all the way down to the floor slowly. Breathe. And exhale there. Let your head fall. Let your shoulders fall. Like sometimes we think we're letting our head fall, but we're not really letting it fall. And I want you to do that. Imagine that like you're, I'm sorry for the image, but like you're vomiting energy from your stomach. You're like, Any emotional weight, any care, any worry, any responsibility. Just release all that into the earth and just let go. Now, stay with me, Oscar. You can do this. Let go of your hands. Elbow in, and very slow with a rounded back. Elbow in. Let your spine uncurl upward very slowly. So your head and your arms are dangling. And you're going to feel your spine as you do so. All the different areas that feel tense. Let go of your head, Oscar. Go, yeah, let go, man. And feel the spine. Feel your spine. Where are the tensions? Yeah. Good, guys. So go up. We're going up as we're doing this. Yeah. Oh, was that good? Lower back pain, Oscar? Sorry about that. No. Was it too bad?
Mostly, actually, right in the middle.
So if there's a very sore area, you can either stay there and breathe and allow it to soften, or sometimes if you have an injury, well, you might want to skip a little bit going that deep. Okay, so listen to your body. But often, if it's not, like a real injury, strong intent, if it's just subtle everyday tension, it's great to stop there, breathe, and feel. Okay, because that's how we start. The body is conscious. Every cell, imagine, on your body is conscious, and it holds energy. The more you bring awareness into it, the more that energy can flow freely and find harmony. The problem is when we are unaware, then energy, emotional energy gets stuck in different parts of the body, and that's what starts creating pain. Okay? It's not the only reason of pain, there are many reasons, but it's one of them, a major one. Good. Let's take the meditation posture. If you were comfortable when we did this meditation, you can stay there. But if not, you can also do this. You can take your blanket all the way back into a wall, like that. And if we would have more blankets, I would invite you to put a blanket in your lower back. Right? If you want to do that, if you have a sweater and you can put it folded here for your lower back, would be great. Okay. So can somebody give me let's see if I find this who's this? Is this yours? Yes. Okay. We fold this and we put it right here on our lower back when we're sitting on the wall. You will support the lower back part and we'll help you meditate. So I'm going to help you with it. You can try to put one foot on front of the other rather than under, because if you put it under, the one under is going to go to sleep right away. That feels good. And the other thing you can do, when your knees don't reach the floor, sometimes that creates pain. You feel good. It just helps to be more comfortable. Good. You can put your hands on your thighs with the thumb and index finger touching. Look at this. This gesture is called chin mudra, and the palms go down. And this is energetical. It is said, you don't have to believe this, but it is said in the yoga tradition that if you do this, the body holds the energy inside.